Hey, what's up, guys? I'm out here in the garage giving my giant Defy a little bit of maintenance and cleaning and just kind of going over it. So I got to thinking today that my Defy, as of today, is 1 year old for me. So this would be a decent time to do a 1 year review, right? Having put 1 year worth of cycling on it, and I'm gonna say it's right around 5,000 miles. Might just be a hair under. I'd have to look at actual stats on that, but about 5,000 miles on it. And as I'm going over the bike and kind of cleaning some stuff, I'm noticing little things here and there. One of the things I'm noticing is that there's this weird wear pattern going on up here on the front big ring. And if you've followed my channel at all, you know that I've actually had to replace this ring once. One of the teeth, or actually several of the teeth, had broken off on it. Don't know how, don't know why, but it was probably just a defective casting or something on the ring. But as I'm kind of going around, I'm seeing, there's evidence of damage here and there. There's lots of chips. That's one of the things that I didn't think about when I got a carbon bike, was the amount of chips. And as you can see, like down inside here, where the chain might kind of flick off, the chain hits there, causes a little bit of a chip. One of the ones that kind of concerned me, I had actually never noticed this before, so it must have happened recently. There's this weird cut, this slight groove in here, and I'm not sure what caused it. The tire would have been the only thing, so maybe something got stuck in the tire and spun around a couple of times and caused that. Some of the other spots that I've noticed up here on the front fork, there's this pretty good sized chip here and here. And then down underneath, right in there, I must have caught a pretty good rock or something that came up and whacked me good. But overall, what are my impressions of the bike? I love it. The bike is by far one of the best bikes I've ever ridden. I'd say it's the best bike I've ever ridden. I'm still in love with it. I have no desire to get rid of it, so that's a good thing, right? You don't regret your purchase. Couple of the things that I wish were a little bit different on the bike. Probably just my biggest complaint. What is my biggest complaint? My biggest complaint would be the 105 shifters. They're not really 105 shifters. They're RS 505 shifters, which are the hydraulic 105s. I think they've gone away from that now. They use actual 105 shifters, and they use kind of this converter thing up front. I don't know if I'm a fan of it or not, but it is what it is. So I guess that might have been one of the reasons why they went away from it, because maybe complaints, people were saying they didn't like the way that it felt in the hand, because this shifter, especially on long rides, this weird hump right here, it does get in the way. It causes some uncomfort. The thickness of the top of the hood doesn't really bother me, just this little bump right there, and you kind of have a hard time finding a good comfort spot. All in all, the things that have lasted on it, I didn't change out the saddle. The saddle actually fits me really well, and I don't find it uncomfortable. The bar tape. The bar tape's actually held up really, really well. I haven't changed out the bar tape, and probably don't need to for quite some time. It's not the most comfortable bar tape, but it's free, right? It comes with it. From the factory, the other thing that was not to my liking, when they put this bike together, I'm guessing at the bike shop, I don't know if it came from Giant this way or if when the bike shop assembled the bike they did this, but they left way too much cable on the front derailleur, and it's shorter now than it was. It used to be about that long, and so in the beginning when I rode the bike, it actually had gotten caught, bent over, and was basically fraying because the tire had hit it so many times. It was fraying. It had taken the cap off, and I noticed it one day when I was riding, and I was getting scraped up by the frayed wires. So this is just kind of a temporary fix. When I go to actually change the cable out, then I'll do it all up right. But in a year's worth of riding, I haven't had to change the cables out. Yeah, that's I don't know, is that a review? Is that not a review? Basically, I'd buy the bike again. I guess that's a good review, right? If you don't think that you'd buy a bike again, then that's not a good review. There's not a lot that I would change on it. I feel like the disc brakes are awesome. I feel like the 105 drivetrain gets it done. I feel like The bike overall from the factory is very comfortable. Wheels. Oh, let's talk about wheels. So I'm still running the stock PR2 disc rims, and no complaints. I mean, they're solid. I was actually just checking the spokes on the thing to see if there's anything that was coming loose, if there's any signs of damage, but the wheels are surprisingly in good shape. The only thing that I will say, and this goes for all bikes, not just giant bikes or road bikes, when you're cleaning your drivetrain, if you're using a degreaser, get yourself some kind of a dummy hub. This is a homebrewed dummy hub. It's basically just a spool from some Teflon tape and some nylon washers. This one's actually come off now. The hot glue finally gave out. There's still an inside washer that I've pressed into the housing of the Teflon tape roll. But that way you can still properly clean the bike while using like a chain scrubber or whatever. But what I found out, and this kind of sucked because I have to actually replace the rear hub, not hub, but the bearings in the hub, because degreaser has gotten down inside the chain or down inside the cassette and then past the cassette into the hub. And so I need to have my hub rebuilt because on one side the bearings are basically shot. I've had bits and pieces of ball bearing falling out, and it sucks. So I just maintain it by repacking it every now and then with grease, and until I get around to turning my bike over to the shop and having them rebuild the hub. I'm gonna keep doing it my way. But other than that, guys, let me flip the camera around if I can. Maybe I can't. I don't think I can while I'm recording. That's it. I like the bike. I love disc brakes. I like Giant. Get yourself, that's the other thing. If you're going to get a carbon bike, get yourself something that any place where stuff is going to rub. Like my water bottle rubs right there, and you can see there's a nice little wear mark right where the water bottle has touched. The same is true up front. Cable housings. If you don't watch where your cable housings are running, I've got a nice little wear spot right there from where the cable housing basically stretched across and just wore itself in. That's the thing with carbon. It's plastic, right? So it's just gonna wear over time, and it's gonna get weak, or not get weak. It's gonna get worn away. Anyway, guys, quick little review for you on this is actually a 2017 Giant Defy. The 2018's got a little bit different in design and componentry, so it won't look quite like this, but the frame set I believe is still the same. Yeah, I'd buy it again, and that's saying something, right? Anyway, take care, ride safe, have fun.